Anthony Hsieh, from sea to shining sea, you do loans for America. You do financing for America. What is your advantage to brand with Derek Jeter and the Miami Marlins?
Well, good morning. It is such an exciting day as I'm sitting here at the new Loan Depot Park. I think our partnership between two organizations, particularly with Derek, is just a natural fit. We are just so enthusiastic about partnering up with Derek and the Marlins organization, and we just couldn't be more thrilled.
Derek, it is the Miami Marlins, which you've worked 4 and 5 years on to improve and to really recast the franchise like you knew in New York. Where are you on that path right now?
Well, look, we've made a lot of progress, I think, in the 3.5 years that we've been here, but we still have a long way to go. You'll always hear me say we have a long way to go, regardless of what happens during the course of the season. But we're taking some positive strides forward, both on the baseball operations side and the business operations side. And a day like today is extremely important to our organization, and we couldn't be happier with the partnership that we have with Anthony and Loan Depot.
You start with the Citrus Series with Tampa, but then you've got to get on the road and all the rest of the grind of Major League Baseball. Derek Jeter, you were affected by COVID last year and frankly into this year. What precautions, what did you learn from that process that you can bring forward as this nation heals?
Yeah, I tell you what, I said it at the time, affected. I don't even know if that's the right word to use. I mean, we had, 18 players test positive in the span of a week. And, what I think we learned through the course of that ordeal was, look, you can't take anything for granted. I think there was a false sense of security with our players because we were in somewhat of a bubble. And it just takes one case that can end up spreading throughout an entire team. And the health and safety of our players, our coaches, our staff, our fans is extremely important to us. And, you learn from past mistakes and you move on. So we're happy that, I think baseball as an industry up until this point has stayed pretty clear of COVID up until this point.
What do you think is harder, Derek, being part of a team that won 5 World Series or running a baseball franchise as the owner?
That's a good question. I don't even know how to answer that. They're both pretty difficult. I think, you mentioned it. When you're on a team, you're on a field, you have one goal, and that's to win a championship each and every year, and nothing changes. It's the same thing here. I think the difference probably is, when you're playing, it's that particular game, that particular day. And on the business side, you're looking 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So I think there's a lot of similarities. But at the same time, you got to have a little bit more patience.
All right, so more patience, 3, 4, 5 years down the road at a time when baseball franchises across the nation have been really affected by the COVID pandemic just because of the revenues that have not come in. How will that affect the 5-year plan as you see it right now?
I don't think it necessarily changes much. I mean, you look at partnerships like the one we have right now with Anthony and Loan Depot. You still have to look at the overall plan, and we're not going to change. We said when we got here, what we're going to do, we wanted to build sustainable success, and that's on the field, it's off the field, and it's partnerships like this that help us out. And, on the field, I think we've done a pretty good job of building an organization that, we can be proud of, and we've really made some strides there with our minor league system, which is the foundation of our success. So in that sense, look, everyone was affected, every industry was affected, and, moving forward, you're just going to have to bounce back from it.
Derek Jeter with us on Bloomberg Radio. We're thrilled to let you know that the Miami Marlins Chief Executive Officer, Derek Jeter, is with us. With Anthony Hsieh, they celebrate Loan Depot's naming rights to the Miami Marlins franchise today. Anthony, I want to link this first to you, Anthony, and then to Mr. Jeter, and that is the idea of the spirit of Miami as personified by Mr. Jeter. Anthony, I don't know if you know this, but Jeter launched himself into the stands on a foul ball 7.5 games ahead of the Red Sox a million years ago. What's the spirit, Anthony, that Loan Depot sees in all of Florida in this building boom?
Well, we as America's lender, we certainly have become part of supporting America's housing. Florida is a critically important state for not only America, but certainly for Loan Depot is one of our top customer base. In addition to the fact that, Florida is a great yachting capital of the world, which I personally enjoy, and having the opportunity to pair up with winners here is just a great opportunity for us.
Derek, do the kids today play like you? I mean, I know it's like an ESPN question, and I'm supposed to say that and all that, but come on, Derek. You know, I see the nation and trying to get baseball front and center. Do the kids today, would they go into the stands on a late night 12th inning?
Well, first of all, I want to say I don't appreciate you saying that was a million years ago.
Oh.
It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. I mean,
2004.
Don't date me like that. But yeah, you know, look, it's the game changes. It changes from every generation. I remember when you know, I was younger, and you know, one great thing is you have access to a lot of the ex-players, and they come in and tell you how much the game changed. So the game has changed. But the game's exciting. We have a lot of exciting young players that are, you know, in our organization and in other organizations. So I kind of find it kind of hard to try to compare generations, but you know, there's a lot of exciting players to watch out there.
So the players are exciting, Derek. There is a question of whether we can shorten the games and whether or not perhaps some of the breaks for commercials, for other things, some of the waiting and that people are perhaps don't have the attention span for should be eliminated. Do you support that, shortening the games, taking measures, and what measures do you think we should take?
Well, I don't know if you'd necessarily say shorten the games. I would just say increasing the action within the game. Look, I mean, the games are, what, 3 hours, 3.5 hours? So, yeah, there are ways that you can shorten the games to some extent. But I think it's just increasing the action and getting an opportunity to see how athletic baseball players are. And so I think there are some minor rule changes, tweaks that you'd be able to accomplish that.
Derek, I blame Nomar Garciaparra. He played with a team up to the Northeast from where you were playing. He gets out of the box. Every kid in America is doing this with their hands, stretching out the at-bat. Do we need a clock in baseball?
I don't know if you necessarily need a clock. You know what I mean? I think they're discussing some pitch clocks but you know, one of the great things about baseball is, you know, the game, you never know how long it's going to be. You go out there, it's a family sport. You bring your entire family out, and you should be able to enjoy 3 hours with your family.
Derek, you know, the problem here, and I understand the naming rights, you were struggling and you needed to get a refi through Loan Depot and Anthony Hsieh, but then you rented your house to Tom Brady. How was Tom Brady as a tenant? I mean, should you have gone to Loan Depot, or did it work out with Mr. Brady as tenant?
You know what? It worked out, actually, and I told him I deserve a Super Bowl ring for him renting my house. So there's a lot of championships in that house.
Yeah, Anthony, but Anthony, this is so important. I mean, you know, we've talked to Derek, and Derek gets the FaceTime. Anthony, what you guys are efforting every day at Loan Depot, and with your other efforts, you sold to E-Trade and that over the years. I want you to explain now the advantage of the financing of Loan Depot that has brought you to these naming rights with Mr. Jeter.
Well, isn't that a softball pitch, right? You know, we are a contemporary financial services company that is built a lot of digital tools that help many of our customers that are buying a home or refinancing their home to do it very, very fast and very easy. LoanDepot.com will take care of you.
Last word to you, Anthony. Do you see a boom economy out there? Day to day in the grind of Loan Depot, do you witness the boom economy this show is predicting?
Yes. You know, currently we are breaking records at our company. Interest rates are very, very attractive.
Right.
Although they're, you know, higher than they were 3-4 months ago, they're still historically very low.
Right.
The housing boom is we're in the middle of it now. There's very low inventory. I think as we go through COVID, many of us are realizing home is everything. It's becoming where we learn, where we go to school, where we work out. So home is becoming a lot more important.
I was lying. It's not the last question. Derek, very quickly to you. Derek Jeter, how do we fix Red Sox pitching?
Hey, we have our own things that we're dealing with down here, so I'll let you guys deal with that one.